Okay, round 3 with Ponza. And we've lost the die roll. That's terrible. Never want to lose the die roll. This hand is just like a standard, completely mediocre mid-rangey hand. I suppose it's fine though. We're not doing any of our disruption, but Tireless Tracker and Huntmaster of the Fells are both great creatures, so... Oh! Okay, so Temple of Deceit screams ad nauseum. Let's see what our opponent does. If that's all they have, then maybe we're okay, but no. Okay, so they've suspended a Lotus Plume, which means that they are probably quite good to go off on turn 4 here. Blood Moon is nice, but it might not help. So what our opponent is going to do is they are going to dig through their deck and try and find as many cantrips as possible so they can get a combination of cards in their hand, which means that basically it will stop them from being able to lose the game for a turn for having negative life. So there's a card called Angel's Grace, which means you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life this turn, or something equivalent to that. So they can then play a card called Ad Nauseam, which lets you reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You lose life equal to that card's converted mana cost. So they can effectively go down to negative life totals and not lose the game. And as soon as they do that, they can draw their whole deck. Once they've drawn their whole deck, as any deck in Modern can, if you've drawn your whole deck, you should be able to win the game. And that's exactly their plan. They draw their whole deck and then kill you with it. So I'm just going to slam Blood Moon here and hope it does enough to win us the game. It shouldn't, but they've used 2 cantrips already. Hopefully they can't use any more. They will get some coloured mana off this Lotus Bloom, which I can't stop at the moment. So now I want to stop it. Let's deploy a cancel. Using Arbor Elf is really just contrived online. Tap, tap, untap, play this, get a clue, and pass the turn. Okay, Lotus Bloom comes off, and we're not in terrible shape because Lotus Bloom can only make... So Ad Nauseam is a black spell. They have access to black mana through Lotus Bloom, but they also need to cast either Angel's Grace or Phyrexian Unlife, both of which are white spells, and they can't make black and white mana with what they have at the moment, so they need something like a Pentad Prism to be able to actually kill us. What do we want to do here? I think Thragtusk is the quicker clock. So, actually, is it? Maybe a second tracker would have been a quicker clock here. Because, no, okay. Let's just get in with the tracker, El Trackerino. She finds so many clues. Get in with this, and okay, so I can't do that. I can't cast spells like a normal person because Arbor Elf. Swag Tusk. Slam that, go back up to 21. Our opponent needs to deal with this really quickly now, or they're going to be in serious trouble. Again, they've got nothing. Ooh, I don't think that really helps, does it? Crumble to Dust does nothing here. It's exciting, but it does nothing. Okay, so we hit for 8. We can hit for as much as 10 this turn. I think that's not ideal. What do I want to do? I think I'm just going to attack with these 2 and play out the Huntmaster. Okay. So we gain a bit more life. Go to 23. And pass the turn. I don't really care about playing out the birds. I mean, if they don't have anything, they're dead this turn. If they do, then we might just be dead this turn. Okay, so they get to cast the Serum Visions off their Lotus Bloom. So this is a desperation move. I don't know how they can win from here. Because they've cracked it for blue. Now they need to find black and white mana. I suppose they could use Pentad Prism to get white mana to stay alive next turn. So if they find a Pentad Prism, they could cast it with 2 colors. Use one of them for white to get Angel's Grace. Save the other till next turn. But okay, so opponent had a hand. They had all of their Serum Visions, which should be good for them. But if they can't cast them, they can't really do anything useful. I assume they're just putting all of this to the bottom. Yeah, bottom, 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 top, bottom. Okay, there's Pentad Prism, so we might not just win this turn. Presumably they've got Angel's Grace in hand. No, okay, so they scoop. So Blood Moon was great for us there. I think a couple of Ancient Grudges are pretty good here. Relic does nothing. Kitchen Finks is fine. Anger of the Gods does nothing. Primal Command doesn't really do anything. We just want to keep our opponent off mana absolutely as much as possible. And then any little beaters should be good enough. So we'll cut a big fatty and what else? Cut something else. Let's cut a... Let's just cut the Wolf Run. We'll go down a land. Wolf Run isn't particularly relevant in this matchup. And we have plenty of Mana Dorks and Utopia Sprawl, so I think mana sources are actually just fine on. So what does this hand do? Doesn't really do anything, does it? Because we're short on mana. That thing I just cut some off. What's the ideal draw? The ideal draw here would be an Arbor Elf, because then we could turn 3 this Acid Moss. This would be a really, really greedy keep. Our opponent's kept 7, so they're pretty confident in their hand. I am gonna not be confident in mine. This hand is also pretty bad, but okay. I'm just gonna hope that Ancient Grudge is good enough here. This is unlikely to work out for us. This is a pretty bad 6. So yeah, okay, so the Suspended Lotus Bloom. We're gonna play Foothills and pass the turn. Yield to that. Another Temple. So scrying through their deck's really important because they have a small combination of cards which basically just win the game. So they really just need to dig to find them. And the Temples just help with that. They don't care about doing anything on the first few turns of the game because they generally just don't anyway. Stone Rain here is pretty nice. So hopefully some combination of the Ancient Grudge and Stone Rain can keep our opponent from going off quickly. Okay, is this Unlife? Yeah. And this Lotus Bloom is coming down next turn. So do we want to tap out for Stone Rain? I think so. just got to hope they don't have it in hand. Because if we just hold up, then... So ad nauseam is an instant. So even though this comes down in their upkeep, they will be able to crack it if they had ad nauseam in hand. And now they can't. They need a land in hand as well. Oh, sorry, they have unlife. Yeah, I'm being an idiot, but let's just see if they've got it. Two spirit guides. They're playing Spoils of the Vault, Echoing Truth, Laboratory Maniac. There's the Angel's Grace. A couple of Pacts of Negation to stop us from doing anything. And they just need to hit their Lightning Storm, and they should have this. There we go. They're just going to draw the rest of their deck anyway, because why not? Okay, so this is a pretty standard build. There's not too much room for maneuver in a deck like this anyway, but yeah. So you can see your opponent has now gone down to minus 43 life, and just for the purposes of demonstration, this is how the combo works. They now can exile some Simian Spirit Guides from their hand to get red mana, and then they're going to cast Lightning Storm, which deals 3 plus X damage, where 3 plus twice X damage, where X is the number of lands you discard. So they're going to discard all the lands they've just drawn, and now they can just hit us in the face for lethal. How many lands did they draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So now this happens. It looks like they actually know what they're doing. So this is a really, really weird spell, Lightning Storm. It's from Future Sight. Oh, yeah, that block where everything was just crazy and R&D were trying out ridiculous things. So it's an instant with an activated ability, which is just bizarre. So they can discard lands to put charge counters on the spell, but any player can do it. And I might as well just make sure. So I'm going to discard a land to put charge counters on, and I get to choose a new target. I am going to target you. And as soon as they, yeah, okay, concede. They had another land in hand because we counted, so they can just discard another land to change the target back to us. Yeah, pretty silly, but some of the ad nauseam pilots, if they've not played too much, necessarily haven't seen that interaction, so it's always worth checking the first time at least. If they go for it next time, then I'm perfectly happy to concede. What can we do here? I think the sideboard plan was fine. It was just a really poor opening hand. Maybe I could have mulliganed it. What have we got this time? It's turn. This doesn't really have any disruption of any sort other than Ancient Grudge. Okay, I'm going to keep it, and I am prepared to die to a Lotus Bloom. If they don't have Lotus Bloom and their only mana ramp is Pentad Prism, then Ancient Grudge could be pretty good here. Otherwise, we're probably just dead. So we're relying on them not having the Bloom. They have the Bloom. Cool. Must be nice to always have Lotus Bloom. Thoughtseize, that doesn't really do anything here. Our hand is pretty redundant. If we draw Blood Moon off the top, that would be great. Okay, they take the tracker because that's the only creature that we could cast. That's not a Blood Moon, but we'll not tell them that. We'll just pass the turn. Okay, suspend. The bloom ticks down. Okay. Crumble to dust. That's pretty good. Let's stop our opponent from doing fun things. Let's take the one with the most counters on. Exile that. So this should slow them down by at least a turn. And we get to see what's in their hand. So let's just take a quick snapshot of this. Snip. So they have the win in hand if they can draw some lands, and they don't have any lands in hand, so that's great. Anything else in their deck which we need to be worried about? They've got another Thoughtseize. One Echoing Truth. That's about it. Okay. Cool. And their hand does not go into the reveal card zone because that would be useful, and why would they want to be useful? And this Lotus Bloom comes down next turn, and hopefully they shouldn't be able to do anything with it. So, oh, that's so good. Oh, that makes me happy. Smash you. Blow that up. And I managed to use it properly this time, unlike in round one. So our opponent didn't have a land, and now we get to blow up this land. Lotus Bloom comes off suspend next turn, and then we get to blow it up with Ancient Grudge. We're going for the flawless victory. Okay, they packed a negation it, so they must have drawn a Angel's Grace, otherwise they just lose here. Oh no, they don't. I suppose they can sack their Lotus Bloom and exile Spirit Guide if they wanted to. But no. Okay. So they've used the Pact. Oh, have they just they've just got it, haven't they? That is pretty fortunate. So Angel's Grace was a great draw for them there. And there's nothing we can do, is there? No. Could we have done anything at any point in this game? Da, da, da. I don't think so. No. And they should still have enough lands left in their deck to kill us. One, two, three Spirit Guides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is plenty. Okay. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. But we dared. Okay, cool. See you in round 4.